Today I'm going to be showing you some fixed blades that I'm working on, and I practiced my fire starting skills a little bit, so I've got a little clip of that. That episode's coming right up, so stick around. Hello everybody, and thanks for coming back for another video. This is Dave, and I'm glad you're with me. So like I said in the intro, I thought I'd show you the fixed blades I've been working on, and I've got a little clip of some fire starting I did earlier today. I had some yard brush I needed to burn up, so I thought, well, good time to practice my skills at starting a fire with just a spark. And so I recorded that and got a little short clip of that. You may have seen this before. I did a video on it quite a while ago. This is my first fixed blade. I bought this with S&H green stamps when I was 10 years old, and it's an old Imperial fixed blade, and it comes with a sheath that also holds a Camp King pocket knife. This isn't the same Camp King. I put a better one in there. This one's in really good shape. Other than a couple of small marks on the blade, this knife is almost like brand new. But I pulled those out because I wanted to do a comparison. I recently bought a bunch of fixed blade knife blanks that came from the Colonial auction when they went out of business in 1998, and they had a liquidation sale, their supplies. And I bought, I have 18 blades now that I bought off of the gentleman that went to the auction. And these are the Red Ryder blades right here. These are the biggest of them all. I have 6 of those. I have 6 of this style blade. These are all stamped Colonial, Providence, USA. And then most recently I got these blades in, and I got 6 of these, and they're Colonial high carbon USA stamped blades. These are 4 inches long, and I have 6 of these. So I pulled this knife out because these blade blanks, I thought, I gotta check this and see how close they are. And this is Imperial, this is Colonial, but the rivet holes even line up. The blade shape's a little bit different, but not really too much. And of course this has the rigid back, the fish scaler back. But I checked, and Colonial did not make knives for Imperial. Imperial did not make knives for Colonial. These were 2 separate companies, but they were both founded by Italian immigrants. So I'm not sure. One of the guys that worked for Imperial left and started up Colonial. As far as these blades go, he may have done a little copying. I have another one here. This style handle, I believe the tang on this knife is exactly the same as this. It's just the plastic wraps around it. I have another Imperial right here that I put a handle on it years ago and made a new guard for it. The guard was real rusty, and so I made a brass guard for it and put a walnut handle on it. But this is also an Imperial, and let me get these lined up right so you can see the comparison between the two. But hey, you see the rivet holes? I mean, it's awful close to the same one. So I pulled these out because I thought these tangs were pretty narrow. But this knife right here feels pretty good in the hand. It is a small grip, but it feels pretty good. So I think on these blade blanks, I'm gonna just make them like this with this style handle and not do the wrap around. I may mortar some out and make them a little bit wider. We'll see. I'm not sure. Now on these Red Riders and these others with the tangs, you know, mortising's required unless you do injection molding or whatever, which I'm sure that's what these knives were, injection molded rubber handles on them or whatever out of the factory. I bought some G10 spacer material, and it works out to where two of these sandwiched together is about 95 thousandths, which is the thickness of these blades. So I can use these as a spacer, cut these out as a spacer around, and then I don't have to mortise the wood. I can use just two perfectly flat pieces of wood, cut this out as the spacer around it. So I think I'm going to try that on a couple of them and see how it turns out. I would rather have one solid piece the right thickness, but I had trouble finding it. And I could sand down wood to the right thickness and all that, but I just thought, well, I'll try that. I think the colored spacers would look pretty good in the handles too. Let me know what you think down there, colored spacers in the handles. So these blades right here, I just did the first one, and here it is. I just got this done today. I used sea grape wood for the handle, and I made a stag bead for it. Todd over at Pocket EDC turned me on to these beads. I love them. And I put a brass thong hole in it and copper pins and mortised it. And this wood here acts a lot like cherry when you're working with it. It burns real easy on the end grains. So there's a little bit of burnt wood there from sanding and stuff. I don't care about that. I want this to be a user knife, and I haven't put an edge on it yet. This is just how I got it. They come ground, heat treated, but no edge has been put on them yet. So there's the first one. I really like the feel of this. I made it to fit my hand, and I have pretty big mitts, and I think it feels pretty good. And I'll play around maybe with some different woods, and I think maybe the next one I'm going to angle it a little bit and eliminate that gap up there and have the handle a little bit angled. You can see the stamp on the Ricasso is kind of angled a little bit, so I might make the next one with the handle at that same angle as that tang stamp. And then what else? You might remember this little German knife. I got this one done. I blued it. I wasn't going to blue the blade, but it was so pitted. I thought it would look better. There was a lot of rust on this knife, the pommel and the guard and everything. Very unique boy's knife made in Germany. And so I cleaned it up, got the rust off, and then I just blued it and oiled it. So I call that one done. And then this Morris sheath right here, I got some of the dents out of it right here that was kind of mangled up, and gave it a good leather treatment. And then I put a new belt loop on it. This original belt loop that was on it is in pretty bad shape, as you can see. So I just made a whole new one and riveted that on and got it back together. A little bit of wear right here where the knife comes in and out, but it is still pretty solid. And I gave it a good treatment with neat's foot oil and then put a little polish on it. And so there's that sheath I just got done. Fire starting. So yeah, I was practicing my bushcraft skills. I had a little yard debris I needed to burn up out in my fire pit, and I have a bunch of these little things here, these little Fast Tech buckles with ferro rods in them, and they also have a whistle right here. And I discovered you can actually pull this out. It just slips in there. These have a striker built in right here, but it's very difficult to use, I found. It's much easier just to pull this out and use a blade. And so I used a cheap Chinese multi-tool knife. And here's a clip of me starting that fire. And so yeah, I just use this right here and the knife blade on this, and was able to get a fire going fairly easily with just a few sparks. It's good to practice that kind of thing every once in a while. Keep up with your bushcraft skills. So if you have any suggestions on these blades here, what kind of handles you'd like to see. So I would love to put staghorn on some of these, but I just don't have big enough diameter stag in order to do that for this size knife. I have stag that's suitable for smaller knives and pocket knives and that kind of thing, but larger fixed blades such as this, the stag's just not big enough diameter to use. But I do have quite a few different hardwoods, exotic hardwoods, and you know, brass and aluminum and that kind of thing. So if you have any suggestions, I'm open to it. Love to hear from you. Oh, and here's another one too. I pulled out, and this is a Utica Sportsman. You can't read it anymore. I think this one was etched, and it's very similar also to these Colonials as far as size and handle size goes and stuff. The only difference is the spine on this older one is quite a bit thicker on this Utica. I used to have a number of these. I looked around, I couldn't find them, so I must have sold some of them, unfortunately. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, feel free. I love the input. So that's it today, folks. Just a quick one to give you an update. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'd love to see you come back for the next one. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Really do appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a great day. This is Dave. See you in the next one.